Hello, dear viewers. I'm Masood Khan. Welcome you to watch Branding Bangladesh. Branding Bangladesh is a kind of show where you talk about Bangladesh's development, Bangladesh emerging over past few years, and you talk about the bilateral issues. Today we have invited the Ambassador of Netherlands, His Excellency Harry Barwe. Hello, Ambassador. Very welcome to your show.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Yes. So first of all, my question is, how do you feel here coming to this studio? And tell me something about the Branding Bangladesh, how important it is for the country like Bangladesh?
Well, you know, branding Bangladesh is actually a no-brainer. You could not imagine a country not branding itself abroad. And, you know, I just arrived less than a year ago. And before that, I didn't know much about Bangladesh. So when you go to foreign countries and you talk about Bangladesh, people don't know much about it. Yeah. So I think it's your holy duty for you as Bangladeshi, for you as television makers, to ensure that we know more about Bangladesh. So branding Bangladesh is extremely important for your development, for economic growth, and for your stability of the nation.
Thank you so much. And among the country, like between the country, Netherlands and Bangladesh, we're enjoying a wonderful relations. Especially trade is a huge issue for any country. Economic diplomacy and the trade diplomacy is pretty much important. So first of all, let me ask you that the trade situation about this between the countries?
Well, let me say first of all that the Netherlands has been with Bangladesh for more than 50 years.
Yeah.
We've been at your side and we've been helping and assisting where we could, and we've been your friends for 50 years. So this was a development relationship. This was a development program. This was us helping you.
True.
But these things have changed. Bangladesh has grown and is now graduating to become a middle-income country. And this is also changing our relationship, because no longer Bangladesh is in need of money, no longer Bangladesh is in need of foreign assistance per se. Bangladesh is in need of an equal trading relationship with foreign countries, including mine. So the Netherlands has always been involved in many issues in Bangladesh, but most particular in water management and agriculture. These are two very important sectors in the economy in which we've been heavily involved. And as you might know, the Bangladeshi Delta Plan, which is a huge, courageous piece of work by Bangladesh to develop the nation from a water-centered perspective, the Netherlands has been very heavily involved, and we still are. So one of our core issues in the embassy is be a partner, be the partner of Bangladesh in water management.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ambassador, one thing I didn't ask you, like you have posted here in Bangladesh like a year back or so.
Yes.
So before Bangladesh, which other countries you served? If you tell us something about that.
I served in South America in a country called Suriname. I served in the United States, in New York. I served in Burundi, in Africa. Okay. And now here. And I also served in The Hague, my hometown, which is the administrative capital of the Netherlands. So that's where my ministry is.
So as an ambassador, first posting in Bangladesh?
No, my second posting. My second.
And before that?
In Burundi, in Africa.
Burundi, in Africa.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So compared to those countries, what is you know, unique things you find here in Bangladesh?
Oh, there's so many things that are unique to Bangladesh, and I think there's so many things that you should actually feel proud of. And I think to start with, the fact that you have developed this nation in only 50 years. You see where you come from, like in 1971, at the moment of independence, and where you are now. This stretch of 50 years is an amazing achievement, and you should feel very proud of it. So that is what I find. Secondly, in Bangladesh, it's the people. Everywhere you go in the country, it is an amazing sort of engagement that you have and a sort of connection that you feel with the people. Whether you're in Gaibandha or in Jadukor, whether you're in Cox's Bazar or in Patma, it doesn't really matter. It's everywhere the same. So we feel, my wife and myself, we feel very much at home. We live, of course, in Dhaka. Dhaka is a huge city, 20 million people, people say. Sure. But at the same time, it also feels like a village. It also feels, you know, you get to know people quite easily, and people really want to engage with you. So when I talk about Bangladesh, when I try to promote and brand Bangladesh in Europe, I always say these are the most particular, interesting aspects of this nation: friendship, connection, and development.
Thank you so much. You talked a lot good about Bangladesh. So if I ask you the same way, like which area you think that there is a huge room for development, country like Bangladesh?
Well, I'm very positive about Bangladesh, but there's a lot that needs to change. Let me be honest with that. And I think when you talk about it from an economic perspective, you should know that for further development of this country, foreign investment is extremely important.
Absolutely.
And notwithstanding the fact, and I should congratulate Bangladesh for that, for the recent rise on the list of ease of doing business of the World Bank, from 177 to 168, so that is a step in a positive direction, but still you're very low on that list. And even lower than that is the foreign investment opportunities for foreign companies in Bangladesh. So it's not the opportunities per se, but it is the structures in Bangladesh that do not accommodate foreign investment quite easily. So there is a lot of room for improvement. I can only call on your authorities to try to really, improve on that. And I know that there are certain institutions in Bangladesh that work very hard to make that improvement come true.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. So with this note, Ambassador, let's take a short break.
Okay, good.
Dear viewers, with this note, let's take a short break. Coming back soon. Stay with us. Dear viewers, you're watching Branding Bangladesh. We are talking to the Ambassador of Netherlands. Ambassador has talked so many issues. Now, my question is, well, Ambassador, Bangladesh is a country. We have huge young population of the country. So, being Ambassador of the European countries like Netherlands, do you have any message for the young people of the country?
Oh, don't get me started. I mean, you have such a wonderful young population. I'm privileged because my wife, she is a psychologist, and she has been working from the very outset with young entrepreneurs in Bangladesh, with incubators and with individual young creative people. And we were actually amazed and pleasantly surprised with the energy and the creativity of those people we have met. So my message is go for that line, and ensure also for the authorities that you accommodate and help these young entrepreneurs flourish. Because eventually, for this economy to grow further, to move over the tipping point into further progress, you need all these young people to be successful in the country. Your economy is very one-sided.
Yes.
Centered on the RMG sector, and we all recognize, and I think the Bangladeshi authorities more than anyone else, that diversification of the economy is crucial. It's crucial, and it can only be done if these young people, if these young creative, talented people will be helped to move forward. And we do our best. We have a few programs on that. I think there's Dutch support for organizations that work on leadership skills like BYLC, or incubators like YY Gosti. There are a few of these things that are, very, very interesting tracks that they follow to improve their performance and, help them out, make sure that they can flourish. And that is my message to Bangladesh and to the youth.
Thank you so very much. And Bangladesh is a country, we call it, role model of the women empowerment. So our Prime Minister is women, our Speaker is women, and many important position women are playing role. So if you could say something about the women empowerment situation here in Bangladesh.
Of course, your Prime Minister is one of the, I would say, the trailblazers, not only in Bangladesh, but also in the world, that's for sure. There are not that many female leaders of such a big nation as Bangladesh is. So many things are very positive. And the growth and development of women in the female position is really remarkable. But still, if you look at a certain number of indicators, women are lagging behind. For instance, in terms of financial inclusion. My queen, she's also a female, of course. She was here not too long ago, and she actually met with your Prime Minister and with other authorities of this nation. And we talked about financial inclusion. That means that people in all levels of society have actually access to credit, savings account, but also other digital services like health services or social services. And notwithstanding the fact that a lot of telephones are available to everyone, still women are lagging behind men in terms of access to these services. So I think your authorities recognize this, and they're working very hard to help these women further progress. And this is especially centered to the 4 million female workers in the RMG sector. They will be changing this country for sure in the coming generation. Yes.
It is indeed. So, Ambassador, with this note, would like to take a short break. Dear viewers, let's take a short break. We're coming back soon. Stay with us. Dear viewers, you're watching Branding Bangladesh. We are talking to the Ambassador of Netherlands. Yes, Ambassador. My next question is, culture is a huge bond between the countries, you know very well. So, cultural exchange is pretty much important. So, if you could say something about the cultural exchange between Netherlands and Bangladesh.
So that needs to develop, to be quite honest. I think as much as I said that not many people know much about Bangladesh in the Netherlands, I think not many people know much about the Netherlands in Bangladesh. Although I always get a very positive feeling and a positive response when I say that I represent the Netherlands, and I always feel very honored that so many people react very positively on that. So that is to say, in terms of exchange of culture, we really are working on that. For instance, for the Literature Festival in the coming month, we have asked a Dutch writer to come to Bangladesh and be part of this, and to exchange with other, Bangladeshi writers and be part of this whole wonderful festival in November. So we look forward to that. So it's small steps. Culturally speaking, we are maybe not that close in the true sense of the word, but as a people, as delta people, as people who live in a delta country, who live at the end of very big rivers, we have a similar sentiment as to how we to defend ourselves against the water. And if I could say anything about this, we are delta people. That is what binds us.
That is
and that's basically the true cultural exchange that we experience.
It is indeed. And educational cooperation, like do you have Dutch universities, they're taking students or scholarship or anything?
I think if you go to many engineers and if you go to many agricultural specialists in Bangladesh, you will see that very many of them have been to Dutch universities. And there is a huge group of alumni, Dutch alumni in Bangladesh, who I feel are also my ambassadors in Bangladesh because they promote our knowledge institutions. This also fits very well with our goal, and this is knowledge exchange, transfer of knowledge, knowledge partnership, technology partnership.
Hugely important, yeah, it is.
And especially in these sectors that I just previously mentioned, like water management, agriculture, we are big partners. And many of your even very famous experts have been to Dutch universities, either for master studies or for seminars or elsewhere. So I'm very proud of those alumni.
This is just wonderful. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Then again, another question is called tourism is a huge bond again. You know, for any country's development, tourism is a primary issue. So is there any opportunity to exchange tourism cooperation between Netherlands and Bangladesh?
Before doing so, I think, and that brings us back to our first point, Bangladesh needs to brand itself a little bit better.
True. It is indeed.
If I may allow myself to say this, because you know, if you as Bangladeshi have put together a set of values that you all support, that all stakeholders in this society, be they from government, private sector, NGOs, academia, you have to come together to see what is Bangladesh about, what makes you as a Bangladeshi tick, what makes you proud of this country. I myself already feel proud of a few aspects of Bangladesh, but you should really pronounce it and explain this to the world. And look at, at a number of countries in this region, like Vietnam, or like Malaysia, or like Sri Lanka. They have exploited the touristic opportunities very well. And why not for Bangladesh? Why not for Bangladesh?
Absolutely.
It's up to you. And once you have set this up, we will certainly respond to that. You can
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Yeah. And we all know that Netherlands has got huge development projects here in Bangladesh. So if you could explain about the development projects here in Bangladesh.
Well, there are a few very telling projects that many people know about. One is the Blue Gold program in the south of the country. This has to do with water management, with water reclamation, land reclamation, protection of river embankments, and dredging. So, and most importantly, I think, as the sea levels are rising, we need to be partnering up to adapt to climate change. And I think if you look from the development perspective, your Prime Minister has been very quick in reacting to a response of my Prime Minister, whether she would be one of the conveners of the Global Commission, Climate Adaptation Commission. And she is partnering with my Prime Minister and many others in order to make this a worldwide movement to adapt to climate change and to ensure that we're all ready. And I think both Netherlands and Bangladesh together, as Delta nations, can show the world what to do to take a few steps. Both countries have been very successful, actually. I mean, this is an underestimated thing of Bangladesh, if I may continue, because, you know, in the past, like 30 years ago, if there was a cyclone, there would be many victims.
Yeah.
If there's a cyclone now, there will still be victims, but not as many as there were in the past. So you have been able to set up a defense to climate change that is quite impressive. We've done a similar thing, so we join hands. I mean, I think Bangladesh and the Netherlands on this score are true equal partners.
True. Let us talk about the, I mean, have you tested the Bangladeshi traditional food here in Bangladesh?
Many times. I mean, I've been blessed with so many invitations in the house, in private
how do you like the Bangladeshi traditional
It's absolutely wonderful, and its traditions in food also, you know, give you an insight in the tradition of the culture, and it is a welcoming food. It's a very gratifying type of food that, you know, fits perfectly well with the ease in which Bangladeshi people bring you in their homes and make you their friend, and we feel very much embraced in Bangladesh.
Thank you. Ambassador, you know this Bangla is just a huge thousands years of heritage and culture. So have you tried for learning Bangla language?
Oh, that is an unexpected question. I must say no, I haven't. I haven't found the time to do so.
Okay. Because if you would like to know about the culture, about language is also very important. That's why I'm just asking you, nothing else. And the last question is, but not least, that is, do you have any special message for the people of Bangladesh?
Yes, many, but let me limit myself to a few. Yeah. First of all, I think it's very important to be aware of the sense of urgency that is about to adapt to changing and shifting world markets. So also in relation to Europe, you have to be aware once you become a middle-income country, you may lose your preferential access to the market. So your duty-free access to the market. So you need to change and adapt to this changing situation. So I can only say be aware and of the sense of urgency to change. That is very important. Secondly, I would say be proud of your success, because Bangladesh is entitled to be self-confident and be a self-confident partner in the international community, and especially also in your region. So that is it. And lastly, I would say engage. Be transparent, be open, make sure that your markets are open, be sure that you talk openly with us, and use us, you know, and I'm talking to your authorities now, use us as ambassadors to explain to our constituencies in Europe how Bangladesh could be your partner. And it's important for your economic growth to be sure that you have a transparent and open attitude to the world community.
Absolutely, it's important. And Ambassador, first in 2 lines you say, how do you feel about coming in Mytv studio and meeting Mytv people? Well,
it's lovely. I mean, I got so many compliments. You were present when somebody smiled at me and said a very nice thing to me. So I said, you know, this is a very good afternoon for me.
Thank you so much.
But no, the studio looks very nice, and thank you very much for having me over here today, and thank you for taking time to interview me.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you very much for taking your time out of your very busiest schedule. Thank you so much for visiting Mytv studio. Dear viewers, today we are talking to the Ambassador of Netherlands. He was talking a lot good about Bangladesh, and he was giving some kind of suggestion which we may take a highest consideration to take this country in the newer heights. Dear viewers, thank you very much for watching this show. We welcome you to watch my next show. Thank you very much.